Hey guys, it's Michelle. I'm not sure who else you were expecting, but I am coming to talk with you guys a little entrepreneurial lesson about compliance and defiance and what it has to do with your business and your success and your ability to lead in an industry and everything else. Now, crap. What most people will assume that I'm talking about right now, most people are going to assume that I am talking about any number of government orders, right? Like taking place right now in the world, and there is some wonderment going on regarding my compliance with certain, lockdowns and orders and stuff like that. And what I will tell you is that I'm as compliant with these current laws and or suggestions by the government. I will let you know that I am as compliant with these as I am with any other law. And what that means is, for me, I comply to the direct degree that I agree with a law or order, right? That is always what governs my compliance level, right? Do I agree with it? Does it seem right to me? Now, a lot of people are thinking that or believe that this is somehow like a new thing for me, right? Like all of a sudden, Michelle has lost her marbles. All of a sudden, Michelle is going off the rails. And so I decided that I would go through a little reading, like almost like a poetry reading, right? But it's going to be a reading on the decades that I have written to women and to entrepreneurs about defiance and its virtue, right? And also defiance and its direct relationship to our ability to succeed at a unprecedented level. I also will have a little bit of reading regarding the issue of compliance and how easily we obey, how easily we acquiesce, and what that has to say about our success. So, I think it's just a good time to for us to have this discussion because compliance, all of a sudden, even by people who play a badass on TV, right, compliance is somehow now celebrated, and any modicum of dissension is actually like chastised, right? And so I'm going to read to you today about Jesus, about Jeff Bezos, about women entrepreneurs, right? Just as a reminder, nothing I'm saying today is new. I didn't write any of this stuff after the government started telling us where to go and what to wear when we got there and what we could buy. None of this is new, right? So my degree of compliance is directly related to if I agree with what I'm being asked to do, period. That's always been the case for me. I've been very blatant about that through my entire career. It ought not be a surprise now, right? So anyway, so this is just this is old stuff, and I'm going to tell you when it was written. So this is just a reminder, perhaps a reminder of your inner spirit, your inner lion, your inner heroine, right? To just come back to the fact that you say when, you say who, you say how much, right? Like we are still in control of a lot of things, even though there's a lot of things out of our control. So from 2017, way before, our freedom started to be threatened, from 2017, here's a post that was titled by me, "How easily do you acquiesce, accept, and obey limits in your business?" Right? The whole point of that blog post is if you obey easily, if you acquiesce easily, if you accept limits easily, then you're not going to be as successful. Here's what I said. I said, I read something that reminded me of the defiant nature inherent in every single success story. It said, the official salute of the entrepreneur is the middle finger salute. That was a quote from Dan Kennedy. I have to agree wholeheartedly. I am flagrant. This was in 2017. I am flagrant with my defiance of industry norms and rules. I'm not only willing to defy them, I'm disgusted, if I were to be honest, by anyone paying homage to them. Blindly following the rules, following the leader, do what they do, saying what they say, adopting their language, hell, even their accent. Me too, they say. Let me in, they beg. I'm just like you, I promise, they publicly plead. All while pretending to value authenticity and female empowerment. Yuck. That was one post from 2017 from me. From March 2012, I wrote about what it takes to be successful. I detailed the following wholly American traits, unapologetically driven traits, ruthlessly focused traits. And here was my quote. A strong sense of self, first and foremost, a willingness to fight and defend, a belief system that penetrated their core, a propensity for risk, a rebellious streak, a disdain for being tamed, a dawn to dark work ethic, a knack and determination for making something out of nothing, a spirit that welcomed not only the prize, but also the fight, a pride in collecting not only the spoils of our achievements, but also the scars and bruises that preceded it, a deeply ingrained knowledge that to survive, we'd have to put up fences and defend them, and an almost inherent recognition of opportunity and a willingness to pounce. That was from 2012. In 2008, I detailed 6 questions that the elite uber high performers literally never ask themselves or anybody else. One of those is, do you think they'll let me blank? Nope. This is what I said then. This is not the way leaders think. Leaders may ponder, do you think they can stop me from doing blank? And that's it. Who's going to stop me? Never who's going to give me permission and a print invite. Right now, it is impossible. This is back in 2018. It is possible, right now it is possible that you are either triggered or offended or put off. It's possible that right now you are justifying in your mind your own thinking. But we get to choose our own thoughts. The Bible even tells us to take captive every single thought. In other words, how we think and what we think is a choice that eventually becomes a habit. If your thinking is more aligned with the mediocre masses, guess where you are headed? But if day to day you start stretching your thinking to be more aligned with those who are outrageously successful, the defiant ones, in every industry they enter, you're going to be well on your way to joining them. In 2019, in January of 2019, I wrote a lesson in defiance for women entrepreneurs. And here's a hint. Here's what I said. Here's a hint, which I learned from Jesus, Bezos, Steve Jobs, and Estee Lauder, and every other industry giant I have ever studied. When you are breaking from industry norms, wildly enough, often enough, you're going to know it. Because you will no longer be liked by the masses. You will be mocked. You will be talked about. How dare she? You will be the elephant in the room that everyone at first thinks will go away. After all, how could you possibly succeed and hang around when you're not following their rules? Won't your business die away under your own rebellion? Unfortunately not for them. There's a reason the middle finger salute is the official way of the entrepreneurial crowd. And elephants in the room tend not to be ignored for very long. Eventually, they make rooms of their own. So here's to us, great in our own right. Those coming in and mucking things up. Those courageous enough to come into their own industries and declare that the emperor has no clothes. Those who call BS when she sees it. Those who are willing to be disliked for being ruthlessly and authentically themselves. I am honored to stand among you. In July of 2017, I answered a question from somebody who was using my faith against me. They literally asked me if I was an anarchist, right? Am I an anarchist? Here's what I wrote in 2017. I was accused of it recently from someone who wanted to challenge how my disdain for the rules fit into my Christian worldview. This person either didn't know or conveniently forgot how revolutionary Jesus was in his day, but I'm not here to debate religion with you. I want to challenge assumptions and continue to simplify financial success for women entrepreneurs. It has everything to do with how willing you are to stand alone. Am I an anarchist? I'm not. Am I suspicious and sometimes resentful of and even defiant of rules? I am. I question, often out loud, Who says that's a rule or a law? Who made it and why? Why do they want us to follow that particular system? This was written in 2017. Who are they to begin with? Who deemed them in charge? Who made them the rule makers? More importantly, given all the rules so confidently written and spoken to entrepreneurs about creating success with the 80% failure rate, why do so few people question their effectiveness? Guys, this is a side note. I didn't write this. I'm doing a little side note. Most people are wrong about nearly everything. Marriage, relationships, money, health, right? So if you're following in the way of the mediocre masses, don't be surprised at where you end up. Now I'm getting back to what I wrote in 2017. So yeah, I have my suspicions and I'm somewhat defiant. And am I an anarchist? I've never considered the question. But do I fully intend to self-govern? The completely honest answer is I do. I do bristle when I hear people tell me what I must do in order to succeed. Often I will hear these rules that I completely ignored succeeded anyway, and I think, things that make you go, A lot of times I'm asked questions about, wildly accepted norms and rules. And my response is always measured. I don't want to dishonor another mentor, another guru, another leader in the industry. So I'll usually say something like, and this I'm still reading, that's one way to go. Or, what are some other options you've considered? Or, what do you think, right? Trying to take the onus of the decision off of like what everybody else is doing and ask the entrepreneur, what do you think? Has this defiance, this suspicion, this resentment of rules, this determination to be self-governed, has it been responsible for my success? You bet your bottom dollar it has. And I encourage you to remember that you have it. That you have it. That defiance is not bad. Every leader that you respect has been defiant to get to where they are. They have challenged what everybody else said. They were willing to stand alone. And again, all of this is from years ago, from 2012, 2017. It still applies. It still applies, right? So be willing to back yourself. Be willing to fully back yourself, even if it means standing alone, even if it means pissing off a few people, right? We were made to lead, and we cannot lead from within the crowd. I'll talk to you guys soon. Message me if you have any questions. Bye.